So guys, right now we have not one, not two, but three OBSBOT Tail Airs, webcams or streaming cameras. That's what they call them. And what I'm gonna do, one of the cool features, of course, they have so many features. You got tracking, you got PoE, you got USB, you got NDI, you got built-in battery. So it's a webcam that you can actually take out and kind of start recording. If you want to do some content outside, you can do it. And it's gonna track you on the top of that. You got a slightly bigger image sensor. You got 4K 30 frames per second recording. You got 8 optical lens. You got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, gesture, like all the good stuff. Comes with the remote that you can use to control it. And on the top of that, you got a mobile application you can use to control these cameras. However, what intrigued me the most was actually the fact that we have HDMI, which means I can connect this webcam into my Atem Mini Pro or any other switcher, and that's exactly what I'm doing. What you're looking at right now is my angle number 1 or my camera number 1. Okay, next is gonna be my camera number 2 right here that shows you behind the scenes of my studio. By the way, that camera is running over battery, so I'm using the battery kind of built into the camera. And then we got angle number 3 here, which is mostly if I want to showcase some stuff, right? Which again, depending on what you're trying to do, for me in my studio here, I need these 3 angles where to like I can unbox stuff on my table here, so I can kind of showcase here. All right, if I wanted to, I can like do top down kind of shot as well. That's possible as well. And again, what's good about this is I can control it with the remote and I have some presets. So if I didn't want to use that angle on the same camera, I can use a different angle, something like this. So I can go to position 2 again if I wanted to. But if I go to our camera number 1 here, I also have it set to multiple presets. So I have like preset 1, right, which is this angle you're looking at. I have preset 2, all right, and I have preset 3, which is like a super zoomed in angle like this one. All right, that's pretty much it. So let's go to preset 1. Okay, have everything running through. If I go to my camera number 2 here, and then we're gonna choose that camera, and as you can see, if I go to preset number 2 on that one, it's gonna show exactly a zoomed in angle. So now I can have this angle, and whenever I want to showcase my studio, as you can see, I have my Atem Mini Pro here. All right, and this is where everything is actually connected. So I have everything coming in through HDMI, no problem. And with my remote, I don't have to be playing with the mobile app, even though I still have the mobile app, but I can just use my remote control and be able to run everything, no problem. Of course, you're gonna need some accessories, and right now, because you use micro HDMI, so you're gonna need a micro HDMI adapter to full size HDMI. That's how I'm running everything, and it comes directly, goes into a full size HDMI cable, and everything is sent to my Atem Mini Pro. Of course, if you wanted to do multiple presets, you can also use the app to kind of select multiple presets, or what they call director's grids. As you can see, I have like 5% battery remaining on this angle. If you need to use it for live streaming, you have to connect it in case you don't want it dying on you. But if I go to here, as you can see, the app built some presets for me that I can choose from. So if I choose this one, the P1, I got P1 here, I got P2, all right, I got P3. All right guys, so as you can see, I have all the 3 angles, no problem, and I can play with each angle. And of course, I'm gonna show you how I built it. Again, this is super simple. Once you have the remote connected to the cameras, I have a video that I have made to show you how to do that, how to connect all the cameras to this remote controller. This can control up to 3 cameras. In my opinion, is actually the easiest way, because if you try to use the app can only control 1 camera at a time, right? So I believe if you want to do a multi-angle camera thing using the remote control, is gonna be awesome. All right, but again, if you want to see a quick walkthrough of the app and everything, I have another video that I made reviewing these cameras, just showing you how to use the app and different things you can actually change it. So the key accessories you're gonna need to build this type of setup is gonna be really straightforward. You only need like HDMI cables. Of course, you're gonna need the cameras, and you're gonna need little adapters cameras, personally, I like to use this type of adapters. Instead of buying a micro HDMI to full HDMI cable, I just get the adapters, because if I want to use that cable on another camera that has a full size HDMI port, I can still use that cable, right? On the top of that, what else you need? Of course, you're gonna need a switcher, something like the Atem Mini Pro or anything that takes really HDMI, and you are good to go. When it comes to settings to add to OBS and stuff like that, you're gonna be adding the switcher, not the cameras. As soon as you connect the cameras to the switcher, everything works. You can just switch from camera 1 to camera 2 to camera 3. You don't have to do anything. Again, if you have any issue, you can go through the app and disable or enable 4K or 1080p. But in my opinion, if you're using something like the Atem Mini Pro or the Atem, everything is gonna be set already by default in full HD, so the cameras are going to just be working straight out of the box, and boom, connect. You can leave the exposure on auto exposure, focus is gonna be on autofocus, everything, and then you can play with the presets. Again, in my opinion, if you're trying to build that kind of setup, get this remote. It's gonna help you a lot. Another tip that I will give you, actually, as you can see, I was recording another videos. I've been running these cameras for quite some time using just the built-in batteries. But if you're going to live stream or if you're going to do some long recordings, I would advise you 100% to have the cameras connected via if you want to use PoE, power over Ethernet, you can do that. Or if you want to use simply the USB Type-C that comes with the camera, to have them simply connected to power, that's gonna help you a lot, because you don't want the camera to kind of die on you, like one of my cameras just died, right? You don't want that to happen, right? But other than that, once you have that, connect everything together, man, use your remote. You can have the camera track you. So there's this little human tracking on the remote. If I hit it, the camera is gonna start tracking me. So as you can see, the camera is kind of tracking me, no problem. So that's something that you can use if you need it. And if you don't, you can simply, if you're not moving, if you're doing kind of recording like this one, right, you can hit it again and the camera is gonna stop tracking you. Other than that, the image quality really looks good. It matches well with my other cameras. Skin tones look more natural. It's got a little bit of noise if you're recording in low light, so I would say make sure you have enough lighting, because if you don't, you may have some issues with noise. But other than that, in general, the camera image quality looks good. All right, again, if you have some issues maybe with using the app and everything, I have another video that I've actually made that goes through, like, it's a review video, but I also talk about the actual app and some of the settings that you can actually use, especially if you want to maybe enable 4K streaming, or if you want to look at the exposure, the tracking and everything. That video, I'm gonna link it here if you want to check it out. I don't like this tracking thing. But other than that, guys, if you don't want it to kind of reading through your gestures and thinking you asking to do some zooming and zoom out, you can also disable that through the application. So that's something that you have to look into, deciding if you actually need the gesture control function. If not, it could be annoying, so you want to make sure you disable it. But other than that, guys, there is another video that I made about the OBSBOT Tiny 2 4K, which is actually a webcam. It doesn't have HDMI, it doesn't have all the juicy stuff like, you know, built-in battery, micro SD card for recording through the camera. It doesn't have that. It's just a simple webcam, but the webcam has a bigger sensor. It's actually smaller, and the image quality is really good compared to the OBSBOT Tail Air. So that one, if you simply need a webcam, it still has the tracking, the gesture stuff if you need those. All right, if you simply need a webcam, something simple for your live streaming, I have actually a video that I made about it, and it's gonna be linked somewhere here or here. So make sure you check it out, guys, and I will see you there. Take care.